Hello, beautiful souls. So we're recording, and we're so excited to present you with our course, The Seduction Game. Welcome, everybody. We're going to explain a bit about why we make this course, what it's about, what you can expect. But first, we introduce ourselves. Carlos, do you want to go first?
Sure. Hello, Daniela. So nice to be sharing this space with you and with everybody watching. My name is Carlos. I'm a blend of things as everybody, but I'm a digital nomad, organic farmer, and traveling around the world, meeting amazing people to discover the medicine that our encounters has. So I'm very excited to be connecting with everybody joining this course. Thank you for inviting me, Daniela. So happy to be here.
Thank you for being here, Carlos. Yeah, I couldn't do this by myself. Um, the idea for this course came from the friendship that I share with Carlos. We met in the woods here on my neighbor's property about a year ago, a bit less actually. And yeah, it seems that when we step into seduction, it's so important to share both a feminine and a masculine perspective. So I could probably offer this course and it would be like a woman talking about a woman's experiences and everything, but that's only one side of the coin, obviously. So yeah, thank you for being here, Carlos. Very, very important. Yeah, about me, I'm I like these days I like to call myself a medicine woman. I'm trained as a shaman, initiated as a shaman. I offer shamanic apprenticeships. I do a lot of mentoring with people who want to transform their wounds into power. And one of the biggest topics that shows up in the line of my work is sexuality, seduction, relationships. Actually, not seduction, sexuality, and relationships. And I realized that the way we approach seduction is almost like wired the wrong way. So we just set ourselves up for failure. There's so many courses when it comes to sexuality, relationships, all kinds of like inner child healing in tantra, and you can find it all. It's all there. But how do we even get to the point where we're intimate with somebody? How does a spiritual person get laid? you know? If you don't want to go to like a tantra workshop or a cuddle pile or you know live in a polyamorous village for a few months, like how do you get laid? That's kind of like the question. And it seems that that's where a lot of people get lost, and because they get lost there, they sacrifice parts of themselves, which then ruin and destroy their authenticity. And that's how we step into our romantic relationships, and that's why we get hurt a lot, one of the reasons. So yeah, I think now I already landed in the topic. Carlos, do you want to talk a bit about yeah, your relationship to seduction and why you're here today? Um yeah, perhaps your own journey, why you think this course is important. Yeah, some of that.
I really appreciate this creation about the seduction game because it's been my whole life journey in a way since the day I start contemplating my masculine program, or how I was behaving on my sexual cycle, my way of stepping into another woman and facing that journey with another woman. Um, at some point, I discovered like the competitive mind structure I was programmed into as a man, in to fight for a woman with other men was so exhausting for myself. So the first thing I did, then it changed my life, was stepping out from there, just
Out of the
stopped
competition.
out of the competition and out of the stress and the big backpack
Mm-hmm.
that way of approaching seduction has.
Mm-hmm.
Because something that is so in the body, like all this bloodstream going crazy because you see somebody that when you really feel like a magnetism turns into a competitive game for conquering.
Mm-hmm.
So the conquer game that she will be mine or nothing, and if I don't get her, my life will be destroyed, and that's so painful, as you're saying, like a painful mindset that we receive as a heritage from
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is part of our culture. And you're from Argentina, I think, where it's even more maybe part of the culture. That's how I don't want to put everybody in South America in the same pot, but it's how I felt a bit when I was traveling in South America. It was like, whoa, this feels like there's a lot of pressure in this seduction game. There's like all these men and they want the same woman and they kind of have to like, compete with each other. And it's like, yeah, um, feels like sports almost, but really, aren't we looking for love here? Wait a minute, very confusing.
Totally, it's like a woman as a trophy. That's
Yes.
yeah, that's totally
I
weird.
was I was the trophy.
It's incredible how something that is within, because if you track it down, it's something that is your what is going up is your heartbeat, literally going
It's a
to the body.
dopamine
It's
game.
dopamine,
Yeah.
exactly. And since how we move from that blood rush into a cultural competition in between men's, that is something there is something wrong there. So
Mhm,
that's why the first feeling I receive when I step into just contemplating this, it was like peace. Okay, like I don't need to do this. Actually, I don't need to overdo or do that much, like a game plan or a chess game. Oh my God,
mhm,
like when moved out from that was the beginning of this introspection space
mhm,
where I little by little through all these years and the years beyond for sure, um, to give space to the contemplation as we share together, and I love it. Is seduction comes within. It's not
mhm.
something otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's not spoil this. This is in the last episode. Just kidding. You're gonna get tasters before. Okay, so Carlos, can you just expand really quick on how you moved from this competitive game of having to win the woman that everybody else wants as well and conquer her to today, where we sit here and we talk about seduction from a completely new and different and revolutionary angle.
absolutely. From that stepping out, many things happen until this present. So last time when I entered into the spiritual path and all the enjoying all the beauties around the spiritual awakening that our culture is in, our generations are into. Um, I started enjoying many sides of seduction and sexuality and art. So my purpose and my challenge about reflecting and recreating my own authentic way of seduction is yeah, integrating all this into a creative encounter with somebody with, of course, respect and all the things that we know that as a man we need to be willing to contribute to the world. At the same time, don't for me the big challenge is don't forgetting about joy, about the importance of the body as a leader into all this movement, into seduction.
Mhm,
So for me, yeah, I'm here because I'm willing to allow myself to enjoy seduction of course, integrating all these new values of our consciousness time, but yeah, not forgetting about the body. That's my thing.
And taking it seriously enough, but not too serious.
The yeah,
That's like we're finding this middle ground, which is actually, I think, the true magic of seduction is, yeah, I mean, with every person that we share intimacy with from a shamanic perspective, they transform our life wherever. They change our DNA, even if we just, exchange body fluids through kissing or whatever. But there's like it's like you download something into your system, which is pretty serious. But then on the other hand, it's about pleasure, really, which is not serious, which is play, which is fun. And I think combining the two on a healthy, balanced level is kind of like the trick. But that's what we're going to be explaining and teaching in the next lessons.
yeah. It's exactly that is the seed. And there's this super cliche phrase, but I think it really relates to our times, like "made sex, not war." It's a,
Make love,
an,
not war. It's okay.
oh
You
my
can,
god,
you can say the word. We're not.
I like using that word.
Make
um,
beep, not war.
so yeah, like it has so many shades. It may be super normalized
Mhm,
traits,
mhm.
um, but it's the beginning of this contemplation and the big questions within that phrase. Like, okay, how
Mm,
are we going to do that?
yeah,
Of
yeah.
course. So yeah.
So, what can you guys expect from this course? Um, I think the most important thing is that you will inevitably encounter your truth. You will find out what truly nurtures you, what gives you pleasure, what gives you joy, what you want, what you don't want, what you're available for, and what not. And you'll be able to differentiate your own soul's desires and needs from the programming that was put on you when it comes to seduction.
Mm.
And you'll also see the mirroring perspective between the masculine and the feminine. So if you're a woman and you're into men, it's really helpful because you're going to see, oh, this is how it feels for the guy, and the other way around, obviously. Um, out of, yeah, among other things, you're going to receive a list of seduction codes, and you're going to be able to expand this list. And these codes, they kind of anchor your ability to seduce and be seduced in a safe way. This is not about like um judging or saying, you have to do it a certain way, you're putting rules, but it's about retrieving your seduction codes, which when you have them, when we have them again, we can step into this dance of intimacy from a place of safety and awareness and being centered and grounded. And the experience is going to be completely different. So, nobody has done this course yet, just now, as we are recording, except the two of us, of course. So we've gotten the effect. And it's been pretty epic. So, Carlos, do you want to say something about how, like designing this course and diving into your wounds and trauma when it comes to women and seduction has already changed your reality? And yes, please tell everybody that you got laid like 100 times since you started by supermodels in fast cars.
uh, yeah, since we started designing this, and I think it's a really good question. Like, I won't say that we are experts on seduction.
I
Just
am.
we are turning to because exactly that we allow ourselves to create the space of contemplation. What
Mhm.
we found at the beginning that we were blown away of saying, wow, this is really important topic. it's like nobody thinks about that. It's like in auto mode when we're into seduction. We just
Mhm.
do what we do, or as a man, what I realize is we have a so strict game plan that you never doubt it, and you never put on why are you using or what. Like it's like a instruction for a recipe, and that's such a big bullshit, such a out of spontaneity.
Mhm.
So uh, weaving our experiences, our way of doing and sharing and allowing, like putting it out loud without judging, as you're saying,
Mhm.
on a bigger space of something that I, for example, I receive in the from the Mexican culture and my life in Mexico. It's the four directions as a time and space that is bigger than us. It's like let's say a bigger intelligence, the big spirit, as how the Native Americans like to say, the big mystery
Mhm.
that contains all these all structures, all way of being that can help us to fix it or to at least to pay attention. And
Mhm.
that's a really interesting normalized expression. To give attention away to something new is the beginning of the healing. And with this sacred rhythm of nature that is contained on the four directions approach,
The
for,
cyclical way of integrating something. Yeah.
that's where it's a win-win always. And
Mhm.
you will, of course, allow yourself to go with your needs and your joy and your pleasure in your hands to show up to other person.
Mhm.
But you will remain, thanks to the cyclical approach of things and life and mind and heart, that you are autonomous by yourself and you're completed since you arrived to this journey in this place in the earth.
So do you feel like designing the seduction game in the past months has led you to be more at home with yourself and feel more complete in yourself, so you enter the game from a different perspective?
100%. I feel way more relaxed on what I want, on what I need, and that I don't need to rush, but
Mhm.
at the same time I need to create something new to create encounters. It's my responsibility. It's about me.
Mhm.
But
So you feel
yeah, I feel
empowered to take action.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's well, if I can use one word, it's clarity. Clarity
Mhm.
within,
Mhm.
and of course, many doubts as well because I cannot keep doing it as the way I've been doing it. So I
Mhm.
need to be creative. And
Mhm.
seduction is about creation.
Mhm.
In the core cyclical
It
time and
is.
space
Yeah.
is exactly the creative process of a plant turning into flower. It's
Yeah.
such a deep and ancient intelligence to create the rose or to
Yeah.
create a tree.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we are like that. And so
Mhm.
if we're not using bullshit
Mhm.
into the creative process of
Yeah.
seduction, we have a lot of questions, but there are amazing questions that is the beginning of the healing of ourselves and our communities, our family. It's
Indeed.
it really
Indeed.
is.
Yeah. On my side, it has been extremely helpful as well. Just designing this course, just diving in with you, Carlos. We just spent so many hours actually digging up our experiences. Like, how did you lose your virginity? How did you get to know about, relationships? How was your first relationship, your first breakup? How was the relationship to your mother, or in my case, my father? And what how have we lived seduction so far? It's been extremely helpful to mirror that with you, Carlos. It's been epic. And I discovered on my side that I've been, I think, hiding behind a lot of like ancestral shame, where
Mm.
a part of myself was still like, oh, um a woman's body is a trap for a man, and I should maybe not play with it too much, or like, this whole, like, it's sinful idea, um was still hiding somewhere, where I would kind of like hide behind this ancestral shame and hide my inner siren, um which led me to abandon my truth and myself, and then also be not transparent when it came to my seductive powers, maybe, and I would pretend that I had nothing to do with it, or, out of shame, when really I knew I seduced the guy, a bit like that. And yeah, diving into the exploration of seduction on so many levels. I mean, we looked into culture and art, and you're going to get like a list of songs, poems, and everything with every episode that link to the topic that we discuss in the particular episode. Just doing that showed me and activated a part in me where I realized, hey, I am a siren somehow, and that's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And the worst thing I could do is hide it or hide her. I have to be in awareness that she's active and be transparent about her. And yeah, I remember this one moment where we were supposed to have a call and discuss something. And I was like, hey, Carlos, sorry, but I can't, because like all this seduction talk like manifested some actual seduction in my life. And I just woke up to next to one of the most amazing men in history, who literally just came to my door and knocked and was like, "Hi." And that was when I realized, oh wow, I think it's working. My whole, like, the confrontation of my shadows, of the programming, and at the same time my truth, my authenticity, my readiness to show up and look into this with you. I was like, whoa, it's never been so natural and so powerful. So yeah, I guess only make this course if you want something like this, if you're ready to actually, yeah, have your life changed and have different seduction scenarios show up than before, because it will happen at some point.
Totally. It's amazing how the key for all these magical shifts in our life starts since the moment we put the intention to allow that space of,
Mhm,
okay, I will uh, contemplate this, in this case, seduction.
mhm,
And it's so beautiful to hear like what you're sharing about seduction and the friction with shame.
mhm.
Wow, that is so beautiful to hear, like how you unblock it. And at the same time, I think many people, I remember so many episodes in my life exactly there.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So
Yeah,
yeah, here we go.
let's talk a bit about the course structure, so this introduction doesn't become like a million years long. Um, okay, so the course structure is, we're going to be moving through the medicine wheel in each episode. Each episode is going to be about 1 hour. We're going to say it like this right now. It might be a bit longer, but in this one episode, we're going to move the particular topic. Puma, no, my dog wants to climb on my bed. It's forbidden. We're going to move the particular topic from south to west to north to east. And we're always going to close with a piece of homework, which is a ceremony or an exercise that you take into the energetic realm and you do it by yourself. With this, actually, every episode is a healing session. You facilitate it yourself for the biggest part of it, but you're going to have a full-on transformation in every episode because we go through the four directions in the respective order. And looking at the table of contents, it's 8 episodes, and the first one is about seduction as a frequency. So we learn about the frequency of seduction, and we take this through the medicine wheel. We close with a ceremony that you can do by yourself. Plus, you get the amazing content that Carlos is really good in. Like, he's like a walking library. It's like, oh, here's a song, here's a poem, here's a movie, here's this and that goes with it. So you get that as well. And then we go into deprogramming our childhood and teenage years and how we lost our virginity. And we go into the, what's it called? Like the into our patterns. That's the third one. Into our patterns of the lovers that we attract, and why do we attract these lovers, and can we, is that really bringing us to our highest destiny or not, and how can we play around with it. um we have an episode on grief, on the space that is needed to grieve the parts that of us that were hurt in past seductions, past relationships. We have an episode on what happens before we become intimate. What are your hacks? What are your moves? What are our moves? You're going to hear my moves and Carlos' moves, and you're going to see how these moves, these seduction moves, create the ground for everything that comes later, whether that's starting a family and having tons of children, or it's a one night stand. Doesn't really matter. It's about being aware of your moves and how to play them, of course. We have an episode on winning the seduction game. It's just about winning. And this is also the episode with kind of like the codes and what we need on the inside, what we need to embody in order to win, whatever that means. Doesn't mean that you end up sleeping with that particular person, but you cannot sleep with somebody and not feel like a loser. And then we have another one which just expands on kind of like the red flags and the green flags, and how you can create your own grimoire of seduction without shame, without guilt, without pressure, without competition, but just be like, basically, how can you design your own card game, for the biggest amount of pleasure from a place of awareness. And the last episode is going to be on inner seduction, which is an alchemical process that you will know by the time we get there. So that's the table of contents. It's a movable feast, obviously, and me and Carlos are going to break all the rules as we do. But you're going to get what you need in order to completely rewire your approach to seduction. Yeah, do you have anything to add to this, Carlos?
No, it sounds amazing. I'm hearing it all together now after all this time preparing it. It brings my excitement up. So yeah, if you feel the call to join, here we are. And it's a communal space as well, because we will open some channels of communication. We will see the way of having like a real live connection as well, weekly
Mhm.
based, with all this content, with the support of the medicine wheel and your internal will
Mhm.
to reframe seduction. It will be a whole beautiful journey. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's return to, yeah, the original power of seduction. And this is not, I just want to say, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody, you're married or whatever, and you're monogamous, you still need seduction. this is not about, like, it's not a dating workshop or something like that. It's really about seduction. And you can be married to the same person since 40 years and still relearn seduction. And it's going to just like open up a whole new dimension for you and your partner. So, yeah, I just want to emphasize that. And I think with this, we've come to a close. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting journey. So we look forward to seeing you there. And if you have nothing to add, Carlos, I would say let's say goodbye. Yes, we love you, and we look forward to transforming with you. Bye.